Sequels, remakes, and remasters. That's pretty much what games are today. And just to be clear, I'm not talking about every game. I'm talking about the biggest companies in gaming that keep relying on old ideas instead of trying new ones. One of the biggest offenders to this is Pokémon. They've basically remade every generation at this point. Fire Red, Heart Gold, Omega Ruby, Brilliant Diamond, all of them. And the thing is, people always complain. They'll say the graphics look lazy or the game is too easy, but no matter what, they will still sell millions. And that's because it's safe. Everyone already knows what Pokémon is, so you know what you're getting. You're not buying anything new, you're just buying the same game you played as a kid, but on the newest console. And the thing is, Pokémon could take risks. Legends Arceus showed that people are open to new ideas, but the Pokémon company knows that they don't have to. A remake is guaranteed money, it's safe. And for Pokémon fans including me, it's unfortunate that they aren't trying new things, but they're more or less selling nostalgia instead of innovating new games. Another big example is Mario. Nintendo has been reselling Mario games for years, and people keep buying them. Mario Kart 8 is the best example. It came out on the Wii U, then got re-released to the Switch with barely any changes, and now it's the best-selling game on the console. Same with Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. Same with Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. And even when they do more than just port the game over, it still doesn't feel like a new game. It's just a more polished version of the same old game. But people rush to get them anyways because it's Mario. You already know what you're getting, and Nintendo knows that's all it takes to make millions. But before we continue, I just want to thank everyone who's subscribed to the Jameson channel. Thank you so much for 100 subscribers, and let's continue the video. Ooh, it is getting scary with this scary song. And the reason why it's scary is because we're talking about Resident Evil. Capcom has been going back and remaking all of the old games, like 2, 3, and 4, and people love them, especially the Resident Evil 2 remake. And the reason why it works so well is because they didn't just copy the original. Capcom rebuilt the whole thing with modern controls, better pacing, and a completely new camera system. But of course, not every remake is going to be received as positively. Resident Evil 3 got some backlash because they were cutting out parts of the original, but overall it's a really good franchise, and it shows that game remakes aren't always lazy. And yes, it's a sequel to the original, but in my opinion it's a lot better than just porting a game to another console. Don't get me wrong, it's still a safe way to make money, but there's a whole nother level of respect when they put so much effort into remaking an entire game. It's time for the little brother of Resident Evil, Silent Hill. That accent has nothing to do with the game, I don't know why I did it. And unlike Resident Evil, Silent Hill kinda struggled to come back. When the Silent Hill remake was announced, people were excited but didn't have high hopes. The original Silent Hill is such a classic game, so messing with it is kinda risky. Fans don't just want better graphics, they want the same atmosphere and tension the original had. And that's very hard to recreate. But when it was released, it was actually a masterpiece. They kept the same music and the same eerie feeling everyone was hoping for, just rebuilt to look and feel modern so another generation can play it. At its core, it's still the same game, but it's a good example of how you can take something old and bring it back without losing what made it special. GTA is a bit different when it comes to sequels. GTA 5 got stretched out for over a decade, but the series as a whole always keeps things fresh. GTA 3, Vice City, San Andreas, GTA 4, every one of them has a new story, new characters, and new whole city to explore. What Rockstar does well is making each game feel like it's in its own world, and that's the difference. Every sequel brings something new. The cities feel alive, the music and radio stations give its own theme, and the writing mixes comedy and crime in a way where it sticks to people. That's why GTA stands out. Even though they're the same franchise, they don't reuse the same formula for each game. It just proves that sequels don't have to be lazy. They can actually push things forward if you put in the effort. So looking back at all of this, it's pretty clear why we keep getting sequels. For companies, it's safe. Pokémon can just remake the same games and still sell millions. Same kind of thing with Mario, but he's just getting re-released. Horror games like Resident Evil and Silent Hill prove remakes can actually work if they're done right. And then there's GTA, where you don't need to use the same formula to make a good game. At the end of the day, nostalgia is the easiest option because it's what sells. But it doesn't always have to be lazy. Sometimes a sequel can actually push things forward. The problem is, most of the time, companies would rather play it safe than try something new. So to answer the question of why we keep getting sequels, it's most likely money.